Recording in progress. I'm still recording ambient audio.
Oh, good.
On July 17th, 2025, WMPG's The Worm sat down with Mal Blum.
Sitting in the waiting room.
Sitting in the waiting room.
Well, Fugazi? I didn't know Fugazi was here.
To talk about their upcoming show and their new album, The Villain.
You're in space now.
Yeah,
Like we're in the basement.
I thought it'd be fun.
Spaceman.
I never got to use any of these backgrounds.
Released as of July 11th on Get Better Records.
Here, I'm present, I'm ready.
I'm not. I'm in space. So, what's up?
Okay, so
You hear me okay?
Tom already introduced himself.
I did.
Hi, Tom.
Hi.
I'm Matt.
You can see them on Friday, July 25th at Space Gallery, playing with Charlie Mountain at 8 p.m. We do a punk show on WMPG every Saturday night from 11 to 1. We're
Hell
called
yeah.
The Worm.
The worm.
And we just wanted to interview you as a promo for your upcoming show, really. Like, we had no real reason for doing this other than we really like you. The idea of doing the interview was kind of floated our way, and I jumped on it.
Did.
So here we are.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks for having me. And also, yeah, I think doing some local promo for the Portland show is a good. I'm happy to do it. We were just talking off the air about how the space is awesome and like a very scalable venue, whether you're playing to 50 people or 350 people. But you know, I'm also playing a Boston show, so let's
promo both shows.
We can
There you
promo
go.
everything.
What's
my
the
God.
Boston show too?
The Boston show is Space Gallery is on Friday, July 25th, and then the Boston show is the next day, Saturday, July 26th. So really, if you wanted to do a twofer, you know, if you like it so much you want to come a second time, it's at a space I've never been to. It's Get to the Gig Boston is promoting it, but this particular space, I think it's called Warehouse 11. Do you know that?
Okay.
I think I've been there. If it's the same place I'm thinking of, it is cool and a good size, like space size for sure. Like
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know it, but you know, Alex, the promoter, is, you know, good people, and so I trust his judgment on that one.
that's good.
All right, so let's get into the questions that I have prepared.
Okay.
Year already, how you hoped that it would come. All the days and weeks unfolding as we buttoned up our coats.
So, my first question. Focusing your mind to create something from nothing and confronting emotional truths are two of the hardest things to do in the world. But they're required to make art. What does making music mean to you? How do you do it? And why do you do it?
So a nice, easy one to start off with.
I know, right?
Okay. It's funny you start with focus because I have very bad ADHD and I think my meds have worn off by now. So I'm like, okay, let me focus on what was actually asked of me in that question. Okay, focusing
Focusing your mind to create something from nothing
something from nothing and
and confronting emotional truths. Those are really hard things to do, but you have to do them
gotta do
in
it.
order to make music.
You gotta do it. And then why do I make music?
Yeah.
And what were the other two?
What does it mean to you, and how do you do
Mean
it?
to me. And how do I do it? Oh, these are good questions. Okay. Why do I make music? Well, I guess I started writing songs. Okay. To be fair, I'm one of those pretentious musicians, I guess, that I think of myself as a writer more than I do a musician.
Sure.
Like I think, and that's not to be self-deprecating or self-aggrandizing. I think I'm good at writing, and I kind of make do with everything else. You know, everything else was learned to sort of support the writing. So, which is a long preamble to say that I started making music probably when I was like 14-ish, and I think my desire at that time, and arguably still to this day, was to sort of express myself and find other people that felt the way that I did on some level.
Yeah.
And I think that's still probably a guiding light, although it's changed as the years go on. But, I was like a young queer kid and had a lot of issues. And, I think it was a good time to find writing. And I thought that people wouldn't really listen to the writing or read the writing if it wasn't like music. So
Yeah, sure.
Which is funny. I just listened to Kathleen Hanna's audiobook, and I guess she was like a spoken word poet, which I did not know. And another writer was like, "You should start a band. Nobody reads books." Kathy Acker, I think Kathy Acker's.
It's unfortunate that that's pretty true, but
It was, but now nobody listens to music. So
well, that's Now, you should just write an
You
AI
do what you
prompt,
want.
probably.
yeah.
Yeah, all we need is AI prompts now.
That's
Yeah,
right.
but that's what it is. Just do what you want. Like,
Do what you want.
you're not going to make money anyway. Who cares?
Exactly.
Like live life.
Yes, keep your head down, do your work, do what's
Yeah, sure.
meaningful. And then, so I guess, okay, so that's a long answer to why do I make music. I think that is probably still the driving force behind it, although, yeah, it's gotten more complicated. How is that really depends very delicately and very indelicately, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, and there was one more, right?
What does it mean to you? Which is kind of, I think you kind of answer that in answering the other two.
Totally.
Okay, great.
Unless you wanted to put more of a fine point on that part of the question.
Music, I mean, music, it's complicated. You know, it's like I have my own relationship with music, you know, and with like the industry and everything. I'll just tell you what a therapist told me once, which is that, did you know that, attachment styles, everyone's always talking about like attachment styles, insecure attachment, secure attachment, anxious attachment, avoidant attachment, mixed attachment, disordered, whatever. I had a therapist tell me once that actually you can have a different attachment style to multiple people in your life, and you can actually have an attachment style with your career. And I feel that I have a very strained attachment with with music.
I completely understand that.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm internally snapping over here. I guess I could be snapping out loud. I do have a
But then you'd have to edit it out. So
That's true.
I totally feel that, and I think the idea of having an attachment to your career is something that I've definitely experienced in my lifetime and struggled with.
Music is such an interesting medium too, because everyone I've ever known in music feels that way at some point, and it's like, I'm done with this for a while, and then there's usually, almost always, there's like a call back or something that like you're like, yeah, this is what I missed about it. I missed this good part about it. I didn't like these things, but like you can still
Like the
find that
Mob.
passion. Yeah,
like
totally.
the mob, you're like, just when I think I'm out, they pull me back in.
Exactly.
That's music. Yeah.
That is music. That's music, baby.
So to talk a little bit about your roots, we here on The Worm love punk and DIY, and we know you do too.
Hell yeah.
What is your history with the punk and DIY culture? Who was your earliest inspiration, and who was your most important?
Ooh. I love all these multifaceted questions. They're like
Thank you.
scratching a specific itch in my brain.
Good.
Okay. My earliest inspiration was not very punk. Although, arguably, maybe
We are not sticklers about punk genre.
Yeah.
genre-wise. It's more of an ethos.
An ethos for sure.
Well, although, you know what? Earlier on, I was like listening to my older sister had like a real pop punk phase, so that kind of dribbled down to me. You know, she listened to like Millencolin, and she listened to like NoFX, and she listened to like, so like that was like around, but I didn't really feel very like inspired by those things. My earliest like writing influence was like I listened to a lot of Ani DeFranco
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
as a queer teenager. And also I listened to one particular Blink-182 album, their live album. I would like listen to it, it's really, there's a lot of gross stuff in it. Like I would not recommend it, but I listened to it like every night going to bed for like, as like a 12-year-old, as like a 12-year-old girl at the time. And I just was like listening to this live Blink-182 album like constantly, which is so weird. And then, we kind of inherit the music taste of our parents earlier on too, right? So it's like my mom was a huge Billy Joel fan, which I feel like a connection to his writing for sure. My dad was constantly listening to the Beach Boys. And then as I got a little older, me and my dad, we had like a lot of headbutting in my teenage years, but he would drive me to school like at like 6 a.m. and we would listen to this local station called WFUV, which was very it was like a lot of early folk and blues and like just like cool shit. And that's how I found out that my dad like loved like these like protest songwriters. He like loved Phil Oakes and he loved like blues players and like we'd kind of, which at the time I was like, this does not really go with what I know of you, but it kind of bonded us sort of and gave me an
Sure.
appreciation for that kind of music.
You kind of like lose that image you have as a parent, and you're like, oh wait, you're kind of a human also.
Mm-hmm. Right, like maybe you contain multitudes. Like maybe
Sure.
this version of you that I've gotten is not the only version, you know, which was really important for me and powerful in a lot of ways, and also was like a place of respite for us
Totally.
in a very tense time. And then, you know, I got older and I, you know, was in New York and I was kind of doing I just started doing DIY stuff just by necessity. You know, I was just like booking my own shows and I just kind of fell into that community. And then I signed to Don Giovanni Records, which is like a punk label. And then I was around a lot of punk music. Yeah, that's I think gets us up to speed.
Yeah. We absolutely love Don Giovanni over in the Worm. We played plenty of bands there.
That was like at least my big intro into like pop punk and stuff, because I was like
The Ergs.
the Ergs, of course, and Steinways and For Science, and like I remember we went to several of those like Don Giovanni showcases and just I was like this is exactly like what I need.
Yeah, I mean the roster is cool as shit. I mean a lot of great screaming females. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
And then and that's kind of one of those labels that like there is a common thread between the bands, but it's not all genre. Like it's cross genre. Yeah.
Totally.
Jeffrey Lewis. Oh yeah, I liked a lot of like anti-folk, folk punk stuff for a while.
Mm-hmm. Planet X Records was one of my favorites for a really long time. Rosa and AJJ. Yeah,
I never got into Jeff Rosenstock and AJJ, but like I know that I should have because people are often like, you should play with them or whatever. But I was more of like a Laura Stevenson girl, you know?
Yeah, sure.
And I use that in a non-gendered way, you know?
Yeah. I think a bill with you and Jeff Rosenstock would be excellent.
Actually, now that you mention it, I think we did play together for something one time.
Not surprising.
And AJJ asked me to open for them one time, but I couldn't do it because it was like too early. It was too early into like post-quarantine for me. I just like wasn't ready.
Yeah, sure.
But maybe it'll come back around.
There's this one old Planet X Records band that was like a bunch of 16-year-olds called Rosa, and I discovered them around the same time when I was that age. And that was like a formative moment for me of like this band who's
babies like you.
All babies playing music that makes me cry.
I love that. I mean, that was my absolute favorite thing. I mean, it's so funny how like, bands that like maybe were just like regionally big or like maybe not even, but like you just found them on the internet and they just like become like part of your like psyche in this really intense. Oh, that reminds me. There was this band I used to love. It was, I had a friend who was really into Pat the Bunny is Johnny Hobo in the Freight Trains, right?
I think so. I'm not super familiar with like folk punky stuff, but Pat the Bunny is. I see those in the same sentence together. So
okay, so my friend was really into them, and I think that Pat the Bunny had a brother. And I might be making this lore up, but like in my mind, this is the story. Pat the Bunny had a brother, and the brother had a project called Michael Jordan Touchdown Pass.
That's a good name.
It was.
That sounds so familiar.
Okay, it was like so good and so poppy and like just like really good songwriting. And so I remember my friend being like, "Oh, Pat the Bunny," and like all this stuff, and I was like, "No," but like the brother though is like an incredible songwriter, and like you know what I mean. And so I still have those songs stuck in my head, and I'm like, I don't know what happened to that person. I don't know if they're like, for all I don't know. For all I know, they could be like a famous musician, or they could be like, I don't know, like a doctor somewhere and like be like, oh, I used to make songs. I don't even remember, I don't know, but like they just get lodged in your psyche, I'm gonna look it up later.
You should.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna look up Michael.
Yeah.
It's so familiar.
There's
something there, and I'm gonna be looking that up after this.
My breakfast of beef jerky and coffee, and I was on my way right out the door, and I felt.
To kind of talk a little bit more broadly, what is the proudest moment of your musical career so far?
Oh, that's such a nice question. And I'm such a cynical bastard. Oh God, the proudest moment of my musical career. Well, I don't know. Maybe it hasn't happened yet.
Sure.
That's valid.
There's certainly been good ones, but
I think also with DIY, it's like you said, so much of it's out of necessity that you don't even like stop to think sometimes about like, oh, look what I've done. Like,
Right.
you're just like, I'm going to keep going. 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 And then
like a shark. Yeah.
yeah, totally.
And certainly there's things I feel positive about. Like I really like this new label that I signed to. I think Get Better Records. I think they're doing like really cool
Oh
shit.
yeah. They're a great label.
They're great and like good people too, which doesn't always like go along with this shit,
Alex, is that right?
Alex, they're great.
They're from New Hampshire, I think, originally. Because I remember they used to book shows in Keene.
Keene,
New Hampshire. They booked this big fest, and it was so sick. I don't think it was called Get Better Fest, but it might have been called Get Better Fest.
That sounds really familiar.
That's awesome. Keene,
like,
that's
many
that's
years
I
ago.
think where that's I think where I learned about Michael Jordan touchdown pass was.
That would make sense. Keene's
I used to play at a bar there. I would like play solo at a bar called the Weather. No, the Weather. I can't remember now.
I wouldn't remember either. I went to college there for one semester. So.
Okay, yeah,
We grew up pretty close to there.
Yeah, it's true.
cute. Yeah. And then Alex was in Philly for a long time, and now they're in LA. So Get Better is now an LA label, which is cool.
They're another label that's like, yeah, it's kind of punk ethos, but like everything has its own vibe. Like
Totally.
but it's all quality. Like it's all quality stuff.
Yeah, it's like there's an ideology and an aesthetic and also like a queerness that links everything.
Totally.
Yeah, like honestly, check out, they have this artist named Zora that is like fucking awesome and is like not at all what you would consider like punk in any way except probably a little bit in ethos and queerness.
Sure.
But she's like, yeah, I just think it's cool that like me and her can be on the same label. And like, I like messaged her and was like, I love your album. And she was like, welcome, Sib. Like,
That's sick. That's nice.
like,
That's
we're
so
siblings,
nice.
we're on this thing now and it's cool. Like, yeah, Alex is great. I can't say enough good things about them.
There's a big part of me that I think believes in 2025 that queerness is punk.
Yeah, just the act of existing.
Yeah.
I mean, I would agree. I mean, not even in 2025, but I would sort of agree.
Yeah.
Always, like, there is.
Totally.
I mean, I guess it depends on your definition of punk, but like, certainly it's a. What do you call it? Diversion? No, not diversion. Departure. It's a departure from dominant culture's expectations of one. But I mean, that being said, if we're talking about like punk as a genre, obviously there's been, spaces that haven't been super like, ironically not super welcoming to like, queer culture. And then also, then there's stuff like the band The Queers, where you're like, oh,
Right.
certainly this is queer in some way. And it's like, no, it's not. And in fact, I'm a conservative. And you're like,
Yeah.
okay.
That guy's the worst.
Yeah. Being from New Hampshire, we're very familiar.
Yeah, we're from New Hampshire originally. And whenever we bring that up, we get Gigi Allen or the Queers.
It's like,
as the two.
Yeah.
Sure,
Like,
sure,
hey,
sure.
Ronnie James Dio lived in Portsmouth, New Hampshire for a while. Why can't we claim him? Like,
You could claim whoever you want. I mean, you could just be like, yeah, Stephen King lived here. And people will be like, really? And you'll be like, yeah.
Yeah.
And, have you considered lying?
yeah.
No, the Queers, I think people assume to the point that like there's some Spotify editorial playlist.
Oh, like their queercore playlist or
Yeah,
something?
I think the
Always.
Queers are on there to the point that I'm like, oh, people think this is a queer band because it's a punk band and it's called the Queers and like it should be, but it's not.
Yeah.
No.
But yeah, anyway.
Why can't they see me? 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 Why can't they see? When I'm right here.
So some specifics about your career that I always really loved. I discovered your music through Chris Gethard's show. And
Oh,
Welcome to Night Vale.
Hell yeah. Oh yeah.
I was huge fans of both of those.
Oh yeah, those are some highlights for sure.
Yeah.
Those are some-
Yeah.
It was my next question, so I was like, I got this in the pocket.
yeah, good.
So when you perform live, you're incredibly charming and funny, and it's in a way that demonstrates some really serious improv comedy chops. How does comedy manifest in your life, and what were your connections to Gethard and Night Vale that led to your appearances there?
Good questions. Comedy, I mean, I'm from like a New York Jewish family, so I grew up mired in gallows humor. It's kind of just like culturally the vibe.
Yep.
And I think early on, I realized that I wouldn't get bullied if I sort of made my bullies my friends. And I kind of thought my bullies were my friends, but that's a whole other story.
Yeah.
You know, my mom would be like, "We have to call the principal. This person put you in a garbage can." I'd be like, "You don't get it, Mom. She's my friend."
It's a prank.
But
That's she's showing she likes me.
this is I like to get bullied by women, and I still do. It's a thing. But yeah, I think I learned sort of like how to be quick on my feet and funny from a survival place. But now it's funny because I don't know. I don't know. Sometimes it's always grass is greener. I'm always like, oh, maybe I shouldn't do music. Maybe I should have done comedy. And then like my friends who are comedians are like, you think comedy is easier? I'm like, I don't know. Seems like you guys get paid more.
That part I think is true, but
It depends.
Sometimes.
But I don't know. I mean, I'm kind of just open to doing anything. And when I did the last solo tour, I tried to incorporate more of a comedy aspect to the shows. This one will be a band tour, so it'll be less. Less of me talking, because at some point they just start playing the song, which is probably nice. What was the other question?
What were your connections to Gethard and Night Vale?
Oh yeah, so Night Vale I had no connection whatsoever. I literally this might be one of my highlights. I literally just submitted.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, they opened it up. They had this like, on Night Vale, they're like the weather. They have
The
the weather. Yeah. And they were like, just on the actual show itself. And they open it up like once or twice a year to be like, I think it said something like, submit your song to the weather. Like, we will listen to everything, but like months will pass, seasons will change. You will forget that you ever did this. And then like eventually one day we will select you or not or something. And so I think I was having one of those tenuous moments of attachment with my career. And I was like, oh, whatever. Like, and then sure enough, it happened. It was like months later. It's like, you've been selected for this thing. And then a few months after that, they emailed me and they were like, do you want to go on tour with us? And I was like, is this like a scam or? And then, yeah, it was just, I mean, it's great. I love touring with them. I've made some of my best friends are like Night Vale people. It's just like a very specific vibe of person.
Yeah.
And then Gethard, I had a friend named Heidi Vanderlee, and she started doing the music booking sort of for Gethard. She was like involved with the Chris Gethard show when it was on public access. Mm-hmm. She was helping with the music booking, I think doing other stuff for them as well. And she literally sent me an email that was like, I want to book you for this thing. And like I said, I have ADHD. So like, I think she like texted me and followed up with me like several times and was just like, literally just like, come do this thing. And I was like, okay. It like took a while. So then I showed up and I played on the public access show. And then Chris just like took a liking to me, I guess. He was just like, and he's always like, you're secretly a comedian. And I'm like, cool, that's cool. Okay.
Nice again.
But yeah, I don't know. We just became friends, and we stayed in touch all these years. And it's not like a friend that I don't see him all the time, but it's like when you see each other, it's kind of just like, oh, we're just right where we left off,
I love that.
Yeah, I'll say he holds you in high regard because I listen to Beautiful Anonymous, and he'll still regularly mention you as one of the people he's proud that he's got on the Talkback Music. Like when people call in, he's got like a playlist going.
Oh, yeah, he's always been really supportive, and actually, I feel like he might be the reason that Don Giovanni finally signed me, because they rejected me at first, like every record label does, and then I think maybe I don't know if he like put in a good word for me or what, but like after I did the Gethard stuff, they signed me, and then yeah, he's good. He's a good guy. He's, we're quite similar even though we're written in very different fonts,
Yeah.
I like that sentence a lot.
I really love that sentence.
Yeah. You never heard that?
No, I don't think so.
I have heard it in a slightly different context before. That's
Yeah. People say it's the same person, like written in different fonts. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if we're the same person, but there are some more similarities there.
I'm an uppercase version of Matt.
That's, yeah.
Like you're like, ah!
Yeah, I'm all caps.
That's cute.
Sometimes in code font.
Yes. Wingdings.
Wingdings! Remember Wingdings?
To continue on with the same kind of, and yes, I do remember Wingdings. To continue on with the same conversation, you've been getting into producing music for TV and film. And I think this kind of goes along with your idea that you think of yourself primarily as a writer. What have your experiences been like for TV and film, and what did it take to get there?
Yeah. Well, okay, just to be a stickler, I'm not a producer. I'm a writer. I'm like a songwriter,
Yes.
which I only say because I don't want somebody to listen to your show and be like, Mal will produce music for this, because it's like, no, that's not my strong suit. If you need me to write a song for something, I will write you an incredible song for something. But if you need me to like produce an album, I am not your guy.
Yes. I meant it in terms of like
Making, yes.
production.
Yes, yes.
Yes. But
like producing something from nothing, like like producing a rabbit from a hat. Yes, in that way, yes.
Like magic.
like
Yes.
magic. I'm pretty sure that's how writing
You've
music
been getting
works.
into magic, so
Okay, I actually love magic. I was, do you want to know my theory? You know how there's like horse girls and everybody's always like, oh, a horse girl. I'm like, okay, well, the boy version of that is Houdini boys. Like,
oh my god.
like little boys who are obsessed with Houdini. Yes,
I have met that archetype so many times.
Oh yeah.
it was,
You're so
I was
right.
me. I was obsessed with Houdini. Yeah. So, okay.
Wow.
Yes. Okay. So what happened is, let's see, the pandemic, touring shut down. I was like, what am I going to do? I started doing other things for work. And one of the things is a show runner who just happened to be a fan tapped me to write a song for a TV show for Netflix. And they were like, okay, so this song has to be written on this instrument and it has to sound like a love song, but it's actually about the character's dead mom, and it has to like reference this geographical location or whatever. And I was like, this is amazing. I love a writing prompt. Give it to me.
That's quite a prompt too.
Yeah, and you get briefs now. You get briefs and stuff, and like often they'll be like, here's thematically what we're like. They won't give you the plot in quite like that's unusual. They'll usually just be like, we're looking for songs about like dreams. Like keywords are like imagination or like fate, destiny. Like I'm doing this in the background of the stars, which is cool.
Yeah, it is. It is really impressive.
To the listeners, Mal is
Floating through space.
floating through space,
Yeah.
doing some beautiful jazz hands.
knocking comets out of the way.
Pew, pew, pew.
They're so powerful.
Thank you so much. But and usually briefs will give you like a musical reference as well. Like they'll be like, oh, we're looking for something that. I mean, a lot of times you'll get open briefs that are kind of like they'll be like, we want something acoustic and stripped down and organic, and then like their reference track will be like a techno track, and you're like, you don't know what you want. But this was not that. This was like very specific and very like tailored, and it was really fun. And they ended up using it. And then after that, I signed a publishing deal with this great indie music publisher named Terror Bird. And so now, every now and again, somebody will come in and like ask for a specific songwriter or a specific type of songwriter, if they're looking for like queer artists in particular or whatever. Or somebody will be like, we want Mal to write this thing for this thing. Or sometimes, they'll just get tapped with these like sort of open briefs that you submit to. And when you get them, it's great. They are much more high paying than elsewhere in music. And also it's just like cool to like get out of my head and write for like a character, it's cool. Just got something recently. It hasn't come out or been like announced yet, but it's like for a trailer for like an animated show that's coming out. And
Cool.
and that was really exciting. But yeah, it's great. When you can get them, they are great.
All right, so to respect some ADHD, we've only got a couple of questions left, and we've only got about 10 minutes left in our Zoom call,
Cool.
just to give us some sense of timing and expectations.
Time
So my next few questions are
rapid fire.
rapid fire, and just so we can kind of
And
get
there's
through quick.
300 of them.
And there's 300 of them, but they're going to be more about the
Black
future.
coffee early in the morning. Wake up tangled in your arms. I do not
The world often feels oppressive, dangerous, and hateful due to the, oppression, danger, and hatred everywhere.
That's good. I like that.
Have you seen young artists grapple with the world in interesting ways, and what gives you hope?
Oh God. Oh man, I'm such a bad interviewee when you're like asking anything positive. I'm like, oh, well, hope. Mystical. Yeah, I mean, I think that, I think we can see young artists grappling with. You don't even need to be a musician to see it. I mean, it's on the main stage. I mean, just look at all the discourse about Chapel Roan, and how she has been kind of advocating for herself in the press and everything, with her fans and everything, and how divisive it is. It's like you can kind of, because of social media and the way that we all have a front seat to everybody's emotional experience now. You don't even need to be a musician to see younger artists sort of grappling and struggling with, how they're going to walk through the world. What gives me hope? I guess I will say I used to volunteer at, before I was no longer a girl, I used to volunteer at this girls' rock camp, which they have all over. I'm sure you've heard of them.
Yeah.
But they would have these, yeah, of course. But they make these bands. I mean, it was girls ages 8 to 18, and they would make these bands, these bands of 8-year-olds or 11-year-olds or 12-year-olds or whatever, and they would meet and they would make a song in a week, and then they would perform it, and I don't know, there's something really, when you forget sometimes you get mired in all of the day-to-day bullshit of a career in the arts, that you forget about the oh, there's actually just this creative connected force that makes people want to do this in the first place. So
For no reason other than to just do it.
Right. And creating something out of nothing, like you said. And yeah, that kind of warms my frozen heart a bit.
I was in a band that we played one of those rock camps, and I was just bawling the whole time. It was so unbelievably sweet.
Yeah, it's so sweet.
So, last question for you, and this is a big one for you to think about the future. In a perfect future, what is a dream you have for yourself?
Damn. Wow, this is good. In a perfect future, what is a dream that I have for myself? Well, hopefully not healthcare. Hopefully the government will still allow us to get our healthcare through them. But if they take that away, then healthcare. No.
I agree with you, man.
Yeah. Because I'm old enough to remember when it was you couldn't get it. You just couldn't have it unless you got it through your job.
Yep.
No, a real dream, a real, I think, I don't know. I think I'd like to write a book, maybe.
Ooh.
I love that.
Yeah, I think that would be cool to do. And, in terms of music, it's my dream would be to be able to do more writing that isn't I do I do writing for film and TV stuff, but I haven't really been tapped to do any writing for other artists.
Mm-hmm.
So I would like to get into that a little bit, I think. And maybe, yeah, it would be cool if an album took off and made a lot of money. That would be cool. And then I would take the person I'm dating on a vacation.
So you're saying all of our listeners should be purchasing this new album.
Yes.
So
Come on.
All of our tens of listeners will.
Yes. Well, hey, tens of
chart.
albums. Each 10 buys one this week. Maybe that'll.
That's
Oh
right.
no, it's not coming out till Saturday. So. It's
Well,
still,
we're going to be airing it on Saturday, so.
We will be airing this.
no, I'm saying your show doesn't come out on Saturday.
Oh, right.
until
Yeah,
Saturday.
right.
I was like,
Oh, sure.
first week sales. It could be the difference, but it's not first week anymore.
Okay, yeah.
But that's still, yeah. Please buy it or come to the show. That would be great.
Yes.
Definitely come to the show.
And where is this show?
Space Gallery, the Space Gallery.
Space Gallery.
Space Gallery.
Wait.
This is the point where I'll cut in with a new recording, and I'll have all of the info like exact and perfect.
Yes.
Excellent.
So thank you so much, Mal. This has been
Thank you.
a really lovely chat.
Yeah, you guys are awesome. All
Really
right.
nice chatting with
Nice
you.
talking to you. Okay, bye.
Bye.
I still believe you.
Thanks again, Mal. And that was Mal Blum. You can go see them with Charlie Mountain at Space Gallery next Friday, July 25th at 8 p.m. Tickets are $18, and you can buy them on the Space Gallery website. Also find Mal Blum's new album, The Villain, out via Get Better Records. Find it on Bandcamp or anywhere that records are sold, or at the show next Friday.